quick question. If your body had a superpower, if you had a superpower, what would it be? Yes.
The ability to erase my own memory, like Men in Black.
Things you don't want to remember? Like, no, we can just forget that.
Yeah.
Okay. That's called brain fog, and it happens when you get older. Yes.
The ability to stop time so I can sleep for like another day.
Okay. Yeah.
The probability, it's like the probability of like limits for like things to happen.
So you would know like the stats of it. You'd be C-3PO from Star Wars. You have a 76% chance of dying in this. No. Anybody else? No? Those are really good ones. I didn't think about the probability one. That's a good one.
And not just stopping time, but time travel.
Yes. Time travel.
Yeah.
Going back to when I was young. So honestly, some of those are closer to real life superhero powers than you probably think in your biology. So your body already has a lot of healing power, stress response system, ways to conserve energy, ways to make the memories better. So you don't have to try to forget them. You just have to know how to activate them. Your hormones, your sleep cycle, even your physical cycle, they're all like your super suit that you put on. And today, I'm going to show you how to use some of those superpowers so you can activate and be ready for the challenges coming your way as you get into the more reproductive years of life, if you choose to. So over the past few weeks, you've been reading and watching some incredible material about puberty, menstruation, anatomy, and how our culture shapes our understanding of women's bodies and how it is stacked against us. We're going to connect those ideas with how your biology works and that we can work with it and not against it in our everyday life. From sleep, energy-focused biohacking, things that traditional medicine doesn't tell you, and what you will know that if you have a problem, how to go to your doctor and find out. The average woman has to see 8 to 10 doctors before she'll get a diagnosis that's true. And even with that, it's not the, I did not need that. It's making sure that the doctors you're seeing aren't just giving you a quick fix, just a little pill saying, here, take this, because pills have side effects. And then you gotta take a pill for the side effects. And then you gotta take a pill for the side effects. You get hormones tested to know where my body's optimal range is. And if something is off, this is your window before, again, it compounds as you get older. Perimenopause is the second puberty. I hate to tell you, it's coming back. Like you feel like you just got through it. Give it 20 years, it's gonna come back. But you'll know better how to handle all that. And so, I'm not there yet. On my next one. Hormonal balance, and don't rely on medicine to mask your symptoms. Next one. Cycle. Yes, your cycle. So these are the hormones that we're going to be talking about. The FSH, the LH, and what everybody knows is estrogen and progesterone. These matter. And so if you go to your doctor and you say, I'm feeling very fatigued, I'm very tired all the time, something's wrong, and they order one fasting day blood work, is that going to tell you where your optimal ranges are? No. So the best way right now on the market is for them to do a 5 to 7 day saliva test where every day, different times of the day, sometimes it's the same, you're spitting into a tube and they take all of that saliva and it tells you where your ranges are, because every day, if you go and get blood work done and you're in the follicular phase, well then certain hormones are going to be off versus when you do it at the luteal phase. So not knowing where you're at in your cycle is important, but then also getting a doctor that's not going to do just a one blood work type thing, that they want to see it throughout multiple days to see where you're fluctuating at. So going into those lovely hormones, we're going to start with estrogen. She is the queen of power, all right? Her superhero type, she's the energizer, she's the builder. Her catchphrase would be, let's grow, let's go, and let's blow, and let's go. She is on it. She's got everything taken care of. So estrogen, she's like the Captain Marvel, powerful, brilliant, energizing, and she rises in the first cycle. So with these things, when you look at them, estrogen and progesterone look like they ebb and flow about the same. When you look at any of these graphs, I do not know why they do this. It looks like estrogen and progesterone fluctuate at the same time. Estrogen, she's like the mini roller coaster. She's gonna go up a little bit and come down a little bit. She doesn't have great big peaks. Your progesterone, which is the calm protector hormone, she's gonna fluctuate even greater, which is where all those anxieties and stressors, when she's low and you feel manic mode, that's where she comes into play. She brings calm, balance, and peace to you. She calms your brain, helps you sleep, and stabilizes your mood. She's more like Wonder Woman. She's just even keel. She's great. Protective, grounded, and steady. Unless she's low, which is when PMS symptoms get to be even more crazy. And so estrogen and progesterone, they mirror each other, but estrogen is the mini roller coaster, progesterone is the great gigantuan roller coaster. She's going to majorly fluctuate. The other ones, and these come into play, I have learned more about this one specifically because it is a perimenopause hormone that really shows its face as you get older. The FSH, I just call it fish. It's the recruiter. It's the team leader. It's the one that's telling everything to assemble. It gets you all together. So it signals the ovaries to recruit follicles, which helps produce the egg. And it starts the whole hormone chain reaction. So she's like the Nick Fury, getting everybody together and making sure they're all working properly. And then the big launch button, that's going to be your LH. All right? And with the LH, it's the catalyst. It is the one that says, all right, egg, we're here, we're ready. She triggers ovulation, causes the egg to release, and she's the one that presses the launch button. So, and then in there, you have your gland, the corpus luteum. That's the one that kind of tells the progesterone what she's going to do. It's the behind the scenes telling where to go. All of that to say, with your cycle, understanding where you're at. So what day, where you're at in your cycle. Keeping notes. There's a lot of great free apps out there to track it. Will really help you. If you can go on and you're like, man, I'm just having a high anxiety day. I just feel like I'm on edge. Everything's setting me off. You can go into one of those apps and go, oh, look, I'm not in the PMS stage yet, but it's coming. It's going to happen in the next day or two. So, knowing your cycle is super important. And that way you know when it's off. So, if for some reason you skip a month, or you have 2 a month, and if you're not tracking, you're just like, oh, that just seemed early, or oh, that just seemed late. Knowing where you're at matters a whole lot more. My daughter is 16. She has been tracking her cycle since she was 11, her moods at first and where she was at, and then now she tracks her cycle, so we know how she's feeling, where she's at, and she can come to her mom, I'm having a very high anxiety day, or I'm really crampy today, and she can know, or hey, it looks like I'm getting ready to start and we're out of stuff, I need to go get stuff. So it's really important, and it is not something I did as a young woman, and I wish I would have. It gives you a big, huge window into how your cycle is going to be later in life. And then also talking to your aunts, your moms. Yeah, how their cycles go, how their menopausal ages go, how they're having children went, that all's going to play effect into your life. So talking to them and having that open conversation. My poor 14-year-old son hears these conversations open in our house. He's going to be the best husband ever. He's going to really care about the woman when they're having issues. So having those open conversations with the women in your life, the aunts, the moms, if you can, because that's going to tell you a lot about what's going to be going on in your life as you get into those stages. All right, so next one, understanding your physiology. So knowing your cycles, like having your own power grid map. You can't optimize the energy if you don't know which switch controls the lights. How many times have you walked into a room and there's been 15 different switches, or 3, and you don't know which one works what? Like, you don't even know. If you knew what light though, then you have a better understanding. So I just got done reading some of Laura Brydon's book. She's really great. She has books for all different phases, but she has the period repair manual, and then it's a vital sign, like your heart rate and your blood pressure, as to what's going on in your body. If you are underweight or if you are overweight, your cycle is going to be off. If you are having other issues, and we're going to get into some question and answers here in just a second, so what's normal, what's not normal. So, most women grow up thinking that pain, exhaustion, missing periods are just normal part of being a female and that they'll regulate later in life. That's not. These are messages. These are the text messages, the Snapchat messages from your body saying something's up. We need to have a talk. So with that, what is, I forgot my sheet. I did. There was something to pass out. I threw my shirt in here. And I didn't have it. All right, everybody take a green and a red. You're gonna hold up a red if it's not normal, and you're gonna hold up a green if it's normal. So I meant to have them on little sticks. Again, kids make off with all my craft supplies and I don't know where they end up at. So we're gonna go through a few things and then you guys are gonna chance to tell me if you think something's normal or not normal. She is right. She's like, oh, yes.
Normal for me or normal like in general?
What would be normal? What should be normal? What should be normal? All right, because I guarantee probably what's normal for you is a lot of red if you're having that question. All right, so I'm gonna read a few things. You tell me if it's normal or not normal. Cramps so bad you have to miss class. It is not normal. Not normal. Acne or hair loss after stopping birth control. No. The sign of a hormonal shift and rebound and your body's off. Missing your period for months if you're not on the pill. Not normal. I see eyes going like, what? And so what are some things that you think are normal? Or not normal? Yeah.
I was just thinking with like the birth control thing, I guess like in my brain it's not necessarily like if it's normal for the hormones to do that, but is it common?
Right, yes, it's not normal. There's a difference between normal and common. And just because something is common does not mean it's normal. So, yes.
Going back to like what I think is normal, I feel like maybe breast tenderness before your cycle, that's normal.
That is normal.
Okay,
that is normal.
That's like
But it hurt, like everything hurts so bad, like to put on a bra or to do any kind of walking or anything moving. If it hurts that bad, that's not normal.
Okay, cool.
Again, I get things.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, there's a difference between common and normal and all of that. And then also with that being said, like the pills and all of the shots, and there's a reason they are there. And some people, that is the best thing. If you're gonna have sex and you don't want to get pregnant, knowing your cycle and going in that cycle is actually just as effective as the pill. And then you don't have the actual hormones. And most of the hormones in the pill are fake hormones, and your body doesn't process them very well, which is why you have hormonal imbalances when you try to come off of them. So, interesting. Yes.
And let me know if I'm taking you off topic. So, I have endometriosis. Like, I've had it since I started my cycle in like 5th grade, I think. And I was put on the pill sophomore year of high school.
That's a quick fix for them.
Yeah. Okay, so like ever since then, like my symptoms have been like gone. Like I used to go up on my cycle, get like really bad cramps.
So
is it good?
there are more holistic ways, and can we get into that in a little bit? More holistic ways to help with that, where you don't have to be on the pill. And then there are better versions of the pill that have come out that have less hormonal impact, but still are able to change symptoms.
Okay.
So it's more like a symptom fixer than it is like a period fixer. So there's a little difference there. So yeah, there are some things, and that's a great conversation to have with your doctor.
I have
what other things are there.
She told me that it would either be birth control or getting a laparoscopy done.
Okay.
And she said those were the only two options. And I'm like, bro, I'm not going under.
Yeah, there's some things you can work on outside of that to
Did you
fix.
talk to them about different types of birth control then?
She
Like if
said-
there's an updated version of it?
She just said it's the
Or a different medication. Yeah, usually they'll say, if it's working, don't worry about
That's
it.
what she's been telling me.
And yeah, that there are other things. And those are better conversations to have. Yes.
For like missing cycles, when is that normal?
If you're on the pill or off the pill?
Off the pill.
Off the pill. You should be having a regular cycle and not be missing.
Well, I have a funny story, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I missed my cycle in April, and that was the first time I missed it in years,
Yeah.
and now I'm allergic to eggs. That's what happened.
So it's a window to something. Like there was something off, and I don't know if the two. I haven't ever heard that. I'm not saying it's not. I've never heard that combination, but there are because you can grow in and out of allergies like you do various other things. So it could have just been they just happen to go together, but you shouldn't be missing your cycle, and if you are, then there's a hormonal thing there that something was off. Somebody didn't get the memo that we needed to be ovulating and having a cycle. So that happens. But it's, looking at, stress, sleep, even weight, if you haven't been eating or whatever and you drop down to a certain weight or you have all of a sudden gained a bunch of weight for whatever reason. I have a lot of friends who are pro bodybuilders, and when they're in cut mode, they don't have cycles because your body actually needs fat on your body fat helps your hormones. So you need that. So when they're in cut and they're down to less than 4% body fat, their body's not producing that because they don't have the reserves to have a baby. So, and it can mess them up I know a few of them that did mess them up for years and it took them longer to get pregnant than it should have. But, so it's a key indicator that there is something else going on. Yes.
My boyfriend, he's a bodybuilder, so
Mhm.
like I know all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I know that in bodybuilding also increase libido as well because that's
Yes.
what they prove at, and I never knew that.
Mhm.
Like your libido and sexual life is related to fat sources.
Yes, healthy fat in your body is directly related to your hormones. They complement each other. So, healthy fats in our body, there is a healthy fat range. We are not meant to be that lean. That is not how we're meant to be. And yes, it messes with men's cycle. And I always tell my bodybuilder friends, I'm like, don't make any major decisions when you're in cut mode. Don't buy a car, don't buy a house, don't sell your car, don't sell your house, don't get a divorce, don't do anything during that time because you literally, your brain is in like your crazy mode. Yes.
My mom, she used to do not bodybuilding, but like the one where you just get like really skinny, and then I don't know,
Yeah.
but she was in like a severe calorie deficit. This was when I was in high school.
Where you go on stage in the bikini
Yeah,
it's called bodybuilding. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it is bodybuilding.
She was like dropping me out to
Or
a hair
bikini.
appointment, and halfway through the drive, she just started screaming at me for not having my license. Threw me out of the car.
Yeah.
And made me walk
Uh-huh.
the rest of the way. I was like, what?
You literally go into crazy mode.
Yeah, I was
You
like,
don't, your brain needs fat. So there are new studies coming out showing a link to dementia and Alzheimer's and healthy fats. So, and if our elderly people, as they don't eat enough and they lose weight, it compounds all of their symptoms. So yes, our brains and our body needs fat. So, you get to go eat some fat today. Yeah.
Yeah, my grandparents on both sides of my family have dementia, and my grandma, she is divorced, stays at home, and right before she went into the hospital, she literally only ate M&Ms and Cheerios, and hers progressed so quickly. But my grandpa, he lives on a farm, and he still does farm work and stuff
Yes.
every day, and eats a healthy meal, and you couldn't guess that he had it.
Yeah. Exactly. There's a big correlation between that. All right, next slide. We're going to go into some things that can help you with all of that. So,
I'm not very good at cooking.
there we go. All right, so sleep, your regeneration chamber. All right, so
That's my cat. Sorry, that surprised me.
That's Johnny. So talk about sleep. It's your recharge mode. Every superhero needs a regeneration chamber. Batman has his Batcave. Iron Man has his lab. Superman has his Fortress of Solitude. Everybody needs a regeneration chamber. Your sleep should be like a top priority. And I know at this age you don't think it needs to be, but it should be. Sleep is super important for brain health, for physical health, for willpower to not eat all the sweets and treats and junk. Sleep is important. So sleep is where your body repairs your hormones, consolidates memories, okay, and rebuilds muscle. But for every woman, sleep can be tricky, especially as hormonal shifts. Progesterone, for example, has the calming, but when it dips too low, you might realize you toss and turn more at night. And so a few simple biohacks can make a huge difference. So there's also a great saying, and I tried to do the research on it, and there's mixed reviews, but I have found it to be prevalent in my life and in my kids' life. 1 hour before midnight equals 2 hours after midnight. If you go to bed at 8 and you sleep 8 to 2 in the morning, 6 hours, you will feel more rested at 2 in the morning than if you go to bed at midnight and you sleep till 6 in the morning. The circadian rhythm and the cycle, our worldly cycle, like the daylight and all of that, if you sleep when it's dark, you will feel better than, not joking, last night at 8:30 my 14-year-old son looked at me, he goes, I'm tired, I'm gonna go to bed. Alright, fine. So if you are thinking about staying up late and studying, you would actually be better at going to bed early and getting up early to study.
What if it's due that night?
That's a harder part. When they're due at midnight, I've heard these stories. When they're due at midnight, that's a little harder, but you do have to take into effect, like, try to be mindful of your sleep cycle, and it should be like any other appointment in your day, that you try to hit it at the same time. Yes.
Should we make professors like start to, instead of making us do it at midnight, make them do it like 6 in the morning?
That would be a great conversation to have with your professors. And be like, hey, I'm
Because
part
you know what would happen is everyone would still do it in the middle of the night.
Yeah, they would. And you're actually most creative the first 2 hours that you're awake in the morning. So if you're having that brain shut and you just can't get through that, go to sleep, wake up, and you're more creative the first 2 hours. And so it is, sleep is very, very important for our bodies. And so things you can do to help your sleep: get light in your eyes within the first hour of waking up. No glasses, no contacts, no cell phones. Get outside and get sunlight, even if it's overcast. Get outside and get sunlight. It will help. It'll tell your body, oh, it's time to be awake. It's circadian rhythm time. Like, okay, it's time to be up. And cut caffeine if you really have a hard time falling asleep at night. Cut caffeine by 2 p.m.
2 p.m.?
2 p.m. Yep, cut caffeine by 2 p.m. 2 in the afternoon. I knew, I was like, this is going to be the one that gets y'all.
Coaching after this.
Eat a protein-rich snack before bed. It will stabilize your blood sugar and keep you from waking up at 3 in the morning, those witching hours. Try magnesium glycinate. It's a mineral that calms your nervous system. And so making sure, and then in those cycle apps, you can track your sleep. And you can rate it 1 to 10 how your sleep was that night and how important it is. A lot of fitness watches and things like that, Apple Watches can track that as well. Be mindful of your sleep. So, you can't save the world running on fumes. So, sleep is super important. Next one. So, biohacking. It sounds bizarre, but it is truly a great thing, and it's free. Doesn't cost any money. So, well, here's why it's free. So, this is where I geek out a little bit because I love biohacking. This is where you start to feel like the main character of your own story. So it sounds high tech, but it's really small intentional changes to improve how your body and brain function. So, areas to focus on: movement. Your body thrives on movement, but you don't have to be intense all the time. Know your cycle. And if you're in the low energy phase, Don't go for a walk. Do some yoga. Don't make sure you're not, overdoing it. And then when you have all the energy in the world, and you feel like you can get stuff done, go a little heavier, go a little harder, push a little more. Nutrition, your blood sugar and your energy are together. So stabilizing your blood sugar helps stabilize your mood and focus. Pair healthy carbs with protein or fat. Always try to have a carb. Don't just go for the sweet treat, the M&Ms all the time. Try to get some protein in there as well, or a healthy fat. Avocado oil, olive oil, straight butter. Yes.
I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm not. What is a healthy carb?
Healthy carb.
Potatoes, are they healthy?
So basically, if it came from the ground,
Yes.
or it had a mama,
It had-
like are good things to eat,
A mama?
except for our vegetarian friends that don't eat things that had a mama. So trying to get whole food, so as fresh as possible, not processed. Frozen is good, but like fruits and vegetables are healthy carbs.
Wait, are sweet potatoes a carb?
Technically, yes, they are. They are a carb. Yes.
With meat, I don't know if this is true or not. It's like, is there a difference like in red and white meat? Like, should you eat one or the other?
There is a difference. Things like pork, and even like shellfish and things like that, they're kind of like the bottom feeders, so they're gonna have more. They can have more parasites in them and various other things, and that's a whole nother talk to go at a different time. I can go down that rabbit hole, but red meat is best, but chicken is best, then red meat, and then white meat. So keep in this. So chicken is gonna have the most bang for your buck. You don't have to eat as much to get a super amount of protein. Beef is next, and red meats, and then you have your pork. So poultry gives you the most, and more people do chicken over turkey, but is gonna give you the best bang for your buck on protein.
They told me that red meat, like your body can't process that.
Yeah, it makes me
Some people can't. Some people do have an issue with it.
So it's not.
Yeah, so like I said, chicken's leaner, doesn't have as much fat and turkey, and it's gonna have more protein. Like, so you can eat this much and get this much protein. Or if you eat this much red meat, you're gonna get like this much protein. So if you don't wanna spend all day eating, it has the most bang for your buck. Poultry does versus the rest of it. And then nervous system regulation. So your nervous system tends to be more reactive to stress. It's not a weakness, it's just a sensitivity, and it can be trained. Breath work, cold exposure, which nobody really likes, but just cooling off your shower at the end of your shower. It's in the last 3 minutes in a cooler temperature. 30 seconds to 3 minutes. Work your way up to just cooler. It doesn't even have to be ice cold, just cooler. Journaling, a 5-minute walk after meals are great little ways to help re-regulate your nervous system. Yes.
What is like the reason for the no glasses or contacts?
So you want the sunlight to get into your eyes, and you don't want that barrier.
To get into your eyes?
Oh yes. It's like just the sunlight sets your circadian rhythm.
So like you go out
Without glasses and contacts.
Like you just
No, don't look at the sun, but just go out. Just go out into the sunlight without your glasses and contacts.
Okay.
Even if it's cloudy out, don't go staring at the sun.
That disclaimer on this
I know.
episode.
Don't stare into the sun. Don't stare into the sun. Breath work. Breath work is super important, especially if you feel your anxiety coming up or you notice that you tend to be more tense. So there's a couple different ways. You can do box breathing, which is 4 seconds in, 4 seconds hold, 4 seconds out, 4 seconds hold. You can do 8 seconds of breathing in and then blow it out as fast as you can for 4 seconds. Or you can do like an 8 and an 8 deep belly breathing. So making sure that you're getting in that breath work, taking deep breaths will really help calm that nervous system and tell it, hey, we're not in fight and flight. We don't have a bear chasing us. We're okay. We just need to calm down a little bit. Which is where fight or flight comes into play. All right, superpower number 4, redefining normal in women's health. This is where all those things you guys have been reading are coming into play. So, we take off the cape and we get real. Traditional medicine often treats women's symptoms as isolated. Cramps, take ibuprofen. Anxiety, try birth control. But holistic health asks why. Why is your period painful? Why are you exhausted? And why are you anxious? I've gone to doctors exhausted and they're like, oh, well, everything's normal. It's low, it's not optimal. And yeah, you say it's normal, but it's not normal for me. Symptoms are not enemies, they're communication. All of that is those text messages to your body, to your brain saying, hey, something's off. And so ways to decode it. So you read if men could menstruate. Imagine how different these symptoms would be if they happened to men. I have seen a lot of Instagram videos of the guys wearing the crampy things trying to work out, and they're like, I can't do it. It's like, oh, that's just an everyday thing for us. Like, that's nothing. And then in Is Anatomy Destiny, we see how society uses biology to define us, when in reality, it should inform and empower us. So when a doctor says that's normal, you can confidently look at them and say, it may be common, but that's not normal. Did you have a question?
No, I
Okay.
disagree.
Yeah. So, all right. Next, changing our standards of women.
I'm not the only pregnant.
Yeah.
Oh.
So,
I'm
how
tired
can you become your own superhero? All right, bringing it all together. Knowing what to tell your doctor is first and foremost thing. If something is off, be your own advocate. And if that doctor doesn't give you the right answer, go see another one. Yeah, I tell most women go through 8 to 10 doctors to get the right answer. Go to the next one. Go to the next one. Find a functional. Find an integrative. Find something holistic. Some of those words generally are going to be doctors that are going to listen a little bit more. Not always. I have found that to be the case, but they are going to listen a little bit more. Your cycle is your signal. It's going to tell you when something is off. If it's late, if it's early, if it's missing completely, we know something's off. Sleep is your superpower. Prioritize sleep. Get to bed at the same time every night if you can. Try to wake up at the same time every day if you can. The sooner you can get into a rhythm like that, the better you will feel. Biohacking is your toolkit. Get sunlight, get movement, try to do a little bit of cold. I even sometimes, if I can't get a cold shower or anything, I'll just take an ice cube and I'll just run it on my veins and on my face just to kind of like cool me off, and just to, my system goes, oh, hey, okay, we're fine, we're okay. It just gives your body a different sensory output to focus on. And then be your self-advocate. Know what you're telling your doctor. Research your symptoms. Be a Google doctor. It's fine. You can say, I looked at it and this seems to fit my symptoms more. My son had a tongue tie when I was nursing him in the hospital. The doctor, the lactation consultant, nobody noticed it. I was kicking my leg, it hurt so bad. I already had a daughter and was perfectly fine nursing her. Nobody diagnosed it. Failure to thrive. At 3 months, he had not got past his birth weight. And the doctor looked at me, our pediatrician, and said, you either take him to the hospital or I'm gonna call child services on you because you're not feeding your child. His tongue could not extend out or up to latch on. So, in a panic, I take him to the nearest hospital. The lactation consultant there looks at him, picks him up and goes, oh, he's tongue-tied. Same thing I just told my doctor an hour before, and she did not believe me. He actually had a tongue tie and a lip tie. We had the lip snipped, the tongue snipped. He had the tongue snipped underneath again a second time, and really he should have had, they now have a laser and gotten it dissolved. He should have done it a third time because it grew back just a little bit. But she was about ready to call child services on me because my child was not thriving. But I didn't, I was like, no, there's another issue. It is not that, and you are not listening. So we went to the hospital and we got the right diagnosis. So, even in those instances, be your own advocate. If you have, as your parents start aging and you go to doctor visits with them, if you don't like what the doctor's telling them, take them to a different doctor. Be that advocate for people. We're women. We're gonna take care of everybody around us. It's just what we do. We sacrifice ourselves for everybody else. I can't tell you not to because we all do it at different points. But do the research, know what's being said, know what's normal and what's common, and what the difference is. Alright, so your biology isn't your limitation, it's your origin story. Knowing where you're coming from. Talk to those aunts, talk to those moms, talk to all of them. And I think I have one more slide. Yes, so sleep, nutrition, nervous system, focus. I follow a great lady on TikTok that she comes up and she has like little nicknames for all the like the vagus nerve and all of them, and she's funny and she calls everybody a little fuck nugget. It's hilarious. She has glitter on her face. I love her. But I have learned a lot about that. I take what she says and I go do my own research, and I'm like, oh, that makes sense. Oh, I really like that, and then I incorporate that into my own. So be a TikTok doctor. I mean, get the information. Follow people that you feel like are telling truth out there to gain more information about your system and what's going on. Movement. Exercise. I am a personal trainer. Exercise is important. Whether you're lifting heavy or just walking on the treadmill, whatever you're doing, get movement in. It's going to help your system reset and feel better. And there have been many a times that I put all of my anxieties into lifting heavy stuff. And I feel so much better afterwards. And then the light comes on, I'm going, oh, I didn't think about it that way. Or, oh, I didn't realize. Working out, walking, hikes, weightlifting, whatever is your thing, get movement in. And then be aware of your cycle. Calendar it, chart it, use a free app. Figure out what your cycle is and how you can best understand it. And I think that might be, there's one more slide. I think that's the end. But thank you. Thank you. I had one with all my socials on there, but it's on Canva and Canva's not working. So, but if you want to follow, everything is KK Fitness Training and everything has my face. So you can find me on all the things. Any other questions? Yeah.
So, I could Google this, but like, what are other common treatments for endometriosis? Because my doctor flat out said, like, if the pill is working for your symptoms, don't do anything else.
There are nutritional guides that can help with endometriosis. I don't know what they are off the top of my head. But yeah, KK Fitness Training. You can email me at KK Fitness Training. I don't know what they are off the top of my head. I've been doing a lot more on PCOS right now because that's where some of my clients have, not endometriosis, but I do know people who have. And I know there's some nutritional things that can help with endometriosis.
Because I know when I was younger, my mom